Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to another Thursday night paint and chill stream. I don't know who will be joining me tonight. We may have Justin unable to show up tonight. Crafting, Doc, George, the rest of you guys. You know where the link is. Raven, I'll send you the link in just a minute. I want to see who's out there, who's watching, that sort of thing, before I step away to send you the link. So, how's everybody out there doing? You guys all ready for the holidays and all the madness that entails? I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have a lot of family over for Christmas Eve. That's a big thing in their culture. They do Christmas Eve more than they do Christmas, which I find irritating to no end. But that's me. What do we have here? We got the Crafting Gamer. Welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing?
I'm fine. Hey, I can talk about the game book I've been working on because I decided not to submit that one. I'm working on more of still a joke, but a setting for Wretched. It's like after reading some of Wretched, like, good God, I can't condense that into a 5,000 word book. I can make a setting for it around this book, however.
Okay, don't tell me too much
Anymore.
about it, because
It's
I
going
will.
to be a setting, and that's all you need to know.
Okay. Hopefully there'll be a lot more people wanting to join in the Red Rooms Game Jam for 2024, beginning of 2025. I don't know which number they're putting on it, what date, but if you're interested, you can go over to the Red Room
Yeah.
on YouTube and find the videos and the links and all that good stuff. I think Bubba might be making one, and I know there's a couple other people out there, but I don't want to know anything because I'm one of the judges, and I don't want to have any knowledge sway me one way or the other. I'm going to
Yeah.
rate things on their merit pertaining to the world of Wretched. Not my own personal tastes when it comes to things like setting and flavor, but mechanics. I will point things out where I think they could be streamlined or made simpler or easier to understand, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, good luck to you. May the best designer win. I believe there are three prizes that are cash prizes and one or two prizes that are donations in, like, say you win a donation to a charity in your name. I think that's the way it is. I could be wrong on a couple little details there. I am working on reviewing their Uncharted Seas RPG, which is, oh my goodness, what a gigantic, colossal amount of work that went into that. But I'll hopefully be able to finish up my review process tonight and make the video tomorrow after Justin's show. But it'll be a long one because it's close to 450 pages of
Wow.
anything you could possibly want to know about running an Age of Sail game during the 1500s through the 1700s here on Earth, with a lot of mythology and supernatural elements, but those are easily, clipped away if that's not what you're into. Just an amazing amount of work, but you'll have to stay tuned for that tomorrow. So, what are you working on tonight?
Uh, right at this moment, not actually anything. I was more focused on the game book.
Gotcha.
That's part of why I didn't show up right at the show. That's why I wasn't here basically when the show started. I was a little late because I was focused on the book.
I am working on uh, way back in the beginning when Archon Studio first came out. They created a box set of not quite anthropomorphic animals, but almost. I'll see if I can get that one in there to the camera. It's hard for me to see because this is a polar bear dressed in an astronaut outfit with a baby polar bear riding on back. They're kind of cutesy, but there are some like this robotic eagle that I'm going to do up in red, white, and blue and gold, of course, and some others. There's these uh, turtles that are kind of cute. Uh, these being led by a carrot. Oh, there you go. and another one where the turtle is actually some sort of armored tank creature. It's got a cannon sticking out the front and hatches in the side of him. So I guess other creatures can climb inside or something. I don't know. Just kind of silly, but kind of cute. There's about uh, a little over a baker's dozen of them, and I've been
Yeah.
putting it off and putting it off. Actually, it was one of the first videos I did where I primed them with a bad can of primer, so they were all bumpy and just awful looking. And I believe it was actually a can of Games Workshop's expensive primer. Or maybe not. Maybe it was the opposite. And I had to go get a can of their primer. But either way, I had to strip them with LA's Awesome, throw them in
Yeah.
the Sonic Cleaner. Highly recommend getting a Sonic Cleaner for any of your stripping and cleaning needs, whether it be miniatures, gun parts, jewelry, that sort of thing. They're
Yeah.
noisy, but they're worth it. And as long as you don't mix the metals like lead with pewter or lead with white metal or something like that, if you know where the miniatures came from, do them in batches of identical company and manufacturers, or you will regret it because what will happen is the LA's Awesome is a citrus based product and it will electroplate one miniature with the other, which is kind of interesting that it can do that. But
Only good if you're looking for those results.
right, because one miniature will start to turn black from particles stripped from the other miniature, and the other miniature that's being plucked away at will become pitted
Pitted?
and brittle.
Yeah.
And it really bummed me out because the first time I did that, I was doing some obviously lead based or partially lead based miniatures with some old Heartbreaker Warzone miniatures, Mutant Chronicles miniatures, and those are Mutant Chronicles miniatures are all a hard white metal, and the lead was just going over to the other ones, and I couldn't figure it out for a while. But then I'm like, oh, they're electroplating each other, and that really sucked. I was able to take the Warzone miniatures and re-clean them and get them back down to what they're supposed to be, but the other ones ended up in the trash, which I've had horror stories about cleaning miniatures. I don't think anybody knows more about it than me. I've used every product on the market from brake fluid to Pine Sol to finally settling on LA's Awesome
Yeah.
because it seems to be the best.
I one of the things I will not recommend, in fact, I recommend against it, is unless you have metal miniatures, is Gugon.
Yeah, don't use that.
I found out the hard way. I got miniatures. I really should throw them away, but it's like if I don't try to sell them, it's not going to matter if I keep them, even though they look like shit, even with paint on them.
Well, you can. Hey, what's up, Mobius? There are ways to get that off as well. You could try, like I said, LA's Awesome or something a little harsher, maybe Pine Sol, maybe Simple Green. Although Simple Green is kind of gentle in a way, but the smell is just not something I want to deal with ever
Yeah,
again. I went through a good 3 to 6 month period that I was trying that out, and just no, never use that again.
yeah,
Hopefully, LA's Awesome will stay around for a good long time, and hopefully, I won't have to actually do a lot more stripping of miniatures. Every once in a while, I come across something that needs it, or I did a paint job, and I'm like, you know what, I can do better now. Which is why I'm glad I learned how to strip minis because there are minis that I have that are 30 plus years old, and at some point, I'm gonna want to put a much better paint job on them.
yeah.
What do you think is the oldest miniature you have in your collection?
Uh, that would probably be because they're the only ones that I know for a fact they're discontinued. The Hitler and his zombie Germans.
From Reaper?
Yep,
Those are discontinued?
as far as I know, I cannot find them on the Reaper website.
Are you looking under Chronoscope?
Uh,
Because that's the line of miniatures they came from. And I know you can find them on eBay here and there. But if that's the case and they are discontinued, let me know because I will go out and grab some just to have them for posterity's sake. And you never know when Brian's going to rope me into a World War II game of some sort.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, here we go.
For me, I think my oldest miniature are some Earth of Old or something like that. They were originally heritage models, miniatures led from 1978, 79. If that's in fact what they are. They only made a few, like less than half a dozen miniatures for that particular toy line. Otherwise, it would be some Hinchcliffe, Valley of the Four Winds miniatures that I have, or some minifigs minis, also from the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, I'm always amazed at how much miniature, or how well miniatures have improved since the 70s. Prior to that, obviously, they were dealing with flats and pure lead and mostly toy soldiers and things like that. But somewhere around 1978, I guess it was partially because of Dungeons and Dragons that they really started upping their game, and then from that point on, it just you know where we're at now with Games Workshop and some better
Yeah.
3D prints, and Archon Studio, of course, makes some great new minis. I'm working on this one right here. This ogre is kind of like a Nick Fury ogre, if you can imagine that, where he's using a hatch to- as as a
Oh
shield,
yeah.
and he's smoking a cigar and wielding a double-barreled elephant gun of some sort. Almost done with this guy. I don't really like the way he turned out, but I think once I get his hair and his cigar and a little dry brushing on the coat looks
Well,
a little too
Ad-
dark.
Adam Savage always says when it comes to your paint job, you will hate your paint job right up to the point. Oh, this is awesome.
Hmm. Yep, that's. I call it the halfway point. When you hate it, when you think it looks like absolute dog water, as the kids say, well, at least my kid says, then you know you're halfway done. At that point, push through. Like exercising, that sort of thing. Push through, and you'll see it start to come to life and be more of what you expected to do or expected it to turn out to look like. Because up until that point, you know, it's not gonna. You're gonna be disappointed, but I assure you, you're halfway there. I I've been in a little bit of a slump for the past couple of months because I don't want to start any big projects until next year, and it seems like that's all I have. Up there, I have a lot of big projects that need to be done. The Zombicide Undead or Alive Western Minis, which is about 280 miniatures. I've got the Robotech uh, RPG Tactics Kickstarter box, which is another 50 plus Veritex and Destroids and things like that. And I'd really like to get to, but I know that once I do, I'm going to need like a very special place to put them so they don't just get beat to crap and break and lose little add-on pieces and that sort of thing. And I got to admit, they do look like incredibly intricate, interesting miniature or model kits for the Robotech game. Which, to be honest, I bought that over 5 years ago, and I was hoping that Jackie would get into it, but that never happened. He's not a big giant robot fan, big stompy robot fan. So I don't really know anybody who would be interested in playing it. I have some Siege of the Citadel, the board game minis I need to finish. I've got a couple of sets of Shadows of Brimstone I need to finish. And then I've got a crap ton of Dungeons and Lasers. Was it Series 5 or Series 6 that had the airship in it? Remember?
Are you talking about from? I don't know. It's the last one that they did.
Duselair, whatever number it was, I guess doesn't really matter. But I
Yeah,
have
am I muted?
most of that Kickstarter is completely. undone. The only thing I did were the
Oh yeah,
stretch
yeah,
goals, the super stretch goals, the airship, which I'm looking at right now, and all I did on that was dry brush it white. Zenithal
yeah.
highlighted it, and I'm like, man, it's you got one of those, right?
Those airships?
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm still waiting for the
Okay.
Dungeons and Lasers.
Well, be very careful when you assemble it. When it's time to put the blimp part to the airship, there's a very finite, small connecting point. You may want to try to pin that or put some sort of wire in there to strengthen it because it's very, very counterintuitive to the way you should glue it together. You may want to look at those instructions very carefully and see how you may want to do it in a different order than they did it because you're
Yeah,
trying to hold the whole thing like this, boat in one hand, blimp in the other, and 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 put pressure on this little connection point in the middle that's at an angle. So if you do it wrong, it's going to keep separating, and it won't give the model glue time to melt and weld it together properly. And at that, once you've made it, once it's like come apart like this, once you're fighting a losing battle without using an overabundance of model glue, stuff like
mm,
testers or Tamiya liquid brush on stuff. I recommend none of that gel stuff or anything like that because that has
yeah.
too much of a
Well, I was half right.
hmm,
Hitler and zombies are not discontinued in a direct sense, but I'd say to keep from getting in trouble, they changed what he looks like because the one I have has a mustache. The one they advertise on the site does not.
really.
Yep.
I don't know how that would get you in trouble other than, certain kinds of people, raining on their parade, so to speak. It's like, hey, so we're supposed to now just forget that guy ever existed. That's
One
asinine.
one of my favorite channels got me so riled up I almost stopped watching him. He quickly just changed subjects, but he made an apology video because he made a World War II German tank.
German
Didn't
what?
even say not German tank. He didn't even
Oh,
say Nazi. He just said German tank, World War II German tank, and he got supposedly lit up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just three people, and now he's just apologizing.
yeah. No more apologizing.
No,
Stand by what you say, unless you believe that you in fact were wrong. But even then, screw it. I mean, uh, apologies are just used as a weapon these days, so I'm not doing it. Especially for something that I believe. If you don't like it, you can watch something else. You can
yeah,
go to another channel. You can do a whole lot of things with your life. If you want to kick it with us and do what we're doing, which is usually not much of anything, just shooting the shit, occasionally talking about a game or a miniature company or something like that. Cool, but we hang out with a lot of different people with a lot of different points of view, and if they're not allowed to speak their mind, then you don't really know who they are, do you?
nope,
If we all have to, you know, stick to platitudes and worrying about hurt feelings and things like that, then we're never really honest. And I don't particularly want to live in a world where honesty is a four-letter word. You need to be honest. You need to be able to speak your mind. Otherwise, we all end up having the same opinion and become, drones with no opinion.
yeah,
Even if our opinions are crass or rude or hateful or whatever, it's still better to know that that's the opinion of so and so, so that you know that
yeah,
they're not your kind of person.
yeah,
And you know, here, in the states, the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. Without truth, everything else falls to shit.
yeah.
So enough of that. You got any holiday plans going on? Anything special you're doing in the next couple of weeks?
Well, my family usually does Christmas get together, and One of the dumbest things I have ever seen for Christmas. It's called a white elephant. You get together, and instead of swapping presents, the oldest person, everybody puts the presents under the tree. The oldest person picks a present, second oldest picks a present, but the second oldest can, after seeing the oldest present, can swap presents with the oldest to grab what was already open with a unopened present. Then the oldest has to open up a new present, or the second oldest can open up a new present all by himself. And this
That's
stupid
what,
as
what
fuck.
kind of commie crap is that? You
That's what
get
I've
what you
said.
get. You know, you get what you get. If you don't
I
like it,
understand the oldest goes first, but it should be you get what you get. Then that's it.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, hey, what's up, Bo? You know where the link is. You want to jump in? We're just chewing the fat, shooting the breeze. Nothing particular. Um, yeah, it's just turning it into a game of who can we piss off on the the day of Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that. I mean, we're all adults for the most part. If I want something, I know where to get it.
Yeah.
You know, in the last 30 plus years, I have yet to be surprised, and if I am surprised, it's because I found something I was looking for on sale and I grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, there've been a couple of surprises here and there. Not gonna, totally, exaggerate the point, but that's not what it's about. I get more of a thrill, more fun out of getting cool stuff for other people,
Yeah.
especially like Jackie's family. They do kind of the opposite. They try to get something that they know you're going to use, or at some point, maybe someday you'll run out of socks, or you'll need a new hat, and you'll just go, oh, I'll open up the box of hats that I've been getting for the last
Yeah.
however long, and
Uh,
there's a new hat.
Hats I could care
Dust
less
it
about, but
off, and
honestly, you you get me a pair of socks, and I'm just as happy. Well, no, I'd be happier with a miniature, but overall, you get me this. Well, no, a pair of socks. Like, okay, really? Now a pack of socks, I'm gonna like. Oh, thank you. Now this I could use because I
right,
have a very bad habit of I got it from my parents, but it is use it until you don't, until it's not usable. But I
right,
also personally need to learn there's a difference between needing to replace and simply needing more.
yeah, for a couple of my nephews, I got them Swiss Army knives.
Yeah.
Something, not the biggest, chunkiest, whatever. But I looked which one had the tools that I thought they would get the most use out of over the course of their lifetime, that sort of thing. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, Justin? You know where the link is. You want to come in? You're not feeling it. I get it. We're just you know
No,
goofing
give him
off.
in Justin's own words. He's feeling something. We just don't want to know what it is.
Well, I talked to him. I get it. Um,
I have no idea what's going on. I was making a snide ass remark.
uh, well, sometimes the best medicine is hanging out with your pals. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you want to just vent silently, or not upset people. But personally, I'm of the opinion friends are one of the greatest blessings in life. The link
You know,
is in my Discord. It is at the top of my channels. The one that says live stream links, Bo. So come on in. It's been uh, not forever since I saw you, because I just saw you last Friday, and I think we talked earlier this week. But it's been forever since
yeah,
you've been on the show.
I'm a slight introvert, so I actually need to recharge in between dealing with people. That's part of the reason why every once in a while they'll be like, I'll miss a show or two that you and Justin is because I just need to recharge from being around people. I don't. You guys are fun to hang out with. Don't get me wrong, but I am an introvert by nature.
Yeah, I figured that. I don't know what I am. I don't care. I find those labels annoying because I can change at any moment. If I don't like the way I am acting or behaving or feeling, uh, I can always find a way to not be like that, especially when I'm on the air, so to speak.
Comments like that is why everyone gets to make the "you have cocaine and meth and other things in your basement" joke. I
Well,
always have a way to make myself feel the way I want. It's like there's like
I
a
knew,
thousand drugs that could do that, just so you know. And the way
yes,
you
I
worded
knew
that
as I
was
was
not very
saying
nice.
that, I'm like, oh crap, here it
Justin,
comes.
yeah, Justin would have really bounced on that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not here already. You know, we're typing away like, yeah, yeah.
You
So you
stupid
moved up to
meth head.
heroin? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, drugs are bad. I despise them in all
Yeah.
their forms. Uh,
Coming from a cigarette smoker.
Bo, I'll track down the link and send it to you. I have no idea what that means, but I am intrigued. The Lincoln, huh? Like a Continental? Or is it a miniature? Or is it a book? Or is it something even weirder and more diabolic? Um,
Well, I'm pretty sure if you look hard enough, you can find a miniature of Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Probably. I found out just the other day. I was talking to Jackie because my favorite YouTuber has a picture of Lincoln in the background with no shirt and he's all jacked, doing this like you know. And I found out from Jackie that Lincoln used to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Like, nope. Like
he continued to wrestle even into his presidency.
that's kind of based and badass, but
Yeah,
at the same time, I kind of worry, because of the other stories people tell about Lincoln.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know if I believe those, but if some of the things they said are true, then maybe it's true, and that must have been rough back in the day. But like I said, I don't know. Don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, being a vampire hunter must have been
Let
really
you
rough
in,
back then.
weirdo. Okay, I'm letting Justin
No,
in.
Justin, you
Welcome
see
to the show,
wrong.
brother.
It needs to be Wango.
You beat me to my line. I was gonna say, but he was a vampire hunter, not a boxer.
And your volume is really low. I'm going to raise it.
Let me hit this thing.
There we go.
Better.
Yep, better.
A little
How you
too
Okay.
doing,
well
man?
for those with headphones.
But I can do that.
Ah, nice in between. Speaking of which, how do I
Okay.
sound? I've been using a set of headphones with a built-in microphone for a couple days now.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yes, I sent the link to Bo directly.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have as many technical problems as Raven, so I have no problem doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Raven hasn't made the video yet. I'm kind of bummed, more disappointed
Yeah.
than anything. But at the same time, I also knew she wasn't going to
Oh,
do it.
what
What?
was
Justin,
it? Hawk.
Oh,
go ahead.
I made my video. I actually made
Okay.
two.
Yeah. TCG.
Have you
TMI.
have you had a chance to look at the? We could talk freely about the halflings. I'm
Yeah,
making
yeah.
something else for.
I watched the first 12 minutes on 2 times speed
Okay.
before saying hi.
Cool.
Trying to calm down, man. Just nothing.
Yeah, don't
I,
let.
I don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah, I mean, are they
Okay.
your friends?
well, I hear people I consider my friends cheer for the people who would orchestrate these things, and that would include yourself, bro.
Yeah, well, I need more than just one person saying a certain thing, and even then, um, I need to know names of specific people and places before I jump on that bandwagon wholeheartedly. I there's certain things I just can't do when it comes to lumping everybody into one group. You know, I know there are always going to be
Hey,
exceptions.
Shadow.
Yo,
Justin said he didn't want to talk about this.
oh,
Thank you, bro.
well, he knows my
Yeah,
stance. You know,
yeah. Well, mm.
so what are you working on, Justin? Anything or
Trying to calm down right now.
okay? Well, I'm up to. I think I did about 4 or 5 pages yesterday. Oh crap! Don't you hate it when a paintbrush falls apart right
Oh
at the
yeah,
metal? because there's like
That's too much moisture getting up into the barrel.
yeah, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. I found if you try to put glue in there, it just gets sucked into the bristles, and then the bristles just do this flour.
Well, oh,
Mm.
that's because they use a very even wood glue is too liquidy. They use it's
Uh,
practically paste for
yeah.
hair brush fibers.
Uh,
We got
wheat
Bo up
flour.
here.
Wheat flour paste is like the traditional glues used for soft materials. That probably would work. That would be some formula of wheat flour mixed with water until it becomes a paste,
Yeah,
and then applied
I'll have
with a
Grandma whip me
brush.
up some of that right now. No,
Yeah,
it's not going to
and
happen.
then you let it dry over several
It,
hours.
it, it you know I pay about 50 cents for most of the brushes I use,
Yeah,
so it's just going to end up in the trash can. So it's not really worth the
yeah.
effort of.
Wait, we're
I
making
buy
glue now.
see here is this it? Yeah, here it is.
Oh,
Yes, we're
Shadow.
yeah.
making glue.
They're
The
not.
Japanese made used to make a wood glue from old rice.
Yeah,
I believe
Same
this
thing.
is
probably.
going to be like a 10-story long.
The leather workers make a glue from old hide and also from fish scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, wheat flour also works pretty okay with leather as well because it's used in bookbinding mostly that I know it
Right.
from, but it should be good for brushes as well. Or crimping, just
Okay.
take your pliers out and crimp the ferrule at the. That's what that indent circle is. It's from the crimping machine.
So what are you working on, Bo?
Oh, I'm just cleaning up some minis,
That is not possible.
gluing, um, cleaning up seams, getting ready to paint.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I
Um,
really I need to get something to be enthused about right now. I'm like doing like catch up work, things that I started and they were and I just feel like
yeah, I've
okay,
got a lot of that. That's why I'm trying to find one theme that I can just get behind for a while because
hmm
everything
Yeah.
is everything is awful.
well, not everything, but I know what you mean. Uh, I had some good stuff I did this year that I'm really proud of and I had a lot of fun with. But I'm now I even put some minis away, knowing that they're not done, but I don't want to see them anymore. And next month I'm clearing off my desk,
Oh.
clearing the shelves, kind of redoing the studio a little, and when I get everything back on the table, I want to have something that's like that I'm jazzed to get. I can't wait to get to, and I
Right,
haven't felt that way in 6 months. It's like I cannot wait to get back to the table. Like during the day, like normally I only paint when I'm in front of the camera, and I want to find something that makes me want to drop whatever it is I'm doing downstairs so I can come back up here and paint whatever that was.
right,
And I can't think of freaking anything. Even a lot of the Kickstarter stuff that I'm expecting over the course of the next year, I'm like the Dungeons and Laser stuff. There's some rock and stuff in there. There really is. But
right,
the last Kickstarter, I've got eight or 10 boxes of stuff that's unassembled. The plastic isn't even broke on the boxes, and I
right,
don't give a shit about any of the things in the box. You know,
right.
I'll take them.
I totally get that.
Yeah, you got
I
my
need well this
address.
this room that I'm in right now. I'm in the process of installing some industrial racking to put all of my other stuff on, so I can have room for a second. I want to put a second banquet table right behind me, so I can actually game on it.
I would like to
Have a
thank you for going with anything besides the Billy. Fuck the Billy. The Billy is worse than the things I had to deal with today.
what's
That is satirical, obviously,
I
but
needed something that I could put together with the minimal effort and the minimal tools and the minimal price. Uh, and it did the job exactly what I wanted. We had 7 point something earthquake, and they're still standing. So
The Billy is evil. It is literally worse than genocide.
Literally worse than genocide.
um, why, other than uh, just cheap, shoddy materials?
I'm surprised they're still. You said there was an earthquake. I'm surprised they're still standing.
It was a 7.3 earthquake.
That's
The
7.3 is like apocalyptic for crying out loud.
the Billy cannot stand being moved across a room.
I don't, well, one, I don't know that these aren't actually from IKEA, so they're worse. If that's
No. There would probably be better. There's nothing worse than the Billy.
okay, yeah,
There is no shelving system worse than IKEA's Billy shelving system.
I think these are from Walmart or Amazon. I forget, but you know the usual particle board bullshit and the different whatever those things
I
are
think
called.
particle board is too high of a quality of material for
For
IKEA
IKEA?
these
Yeah.
days. Now, 30 years ago, in the 90s, they would have been all over it. It would have been like the Billy from before the 2000s was a rock solid piece of shelving. If you can get one of those,
I
best
got these.
press
I
board.
got these two lamps from IKEA. These two knockoff spring-loaded desk lamps. They've been okay, but the springs are not nearly as powerful as they should be. That makes the lamp kind of like be. It's like half a quitter. It kind of sags.
The shelves I have over here, I've shown them before on stream.
Uh-huh.
Over here, they're from IKEA, but they're not Billy's. They're actually made out of particle board and not laminated
Chinese snot,
Bristol board.
laminated
Yeah,
buggers.
yeah. Well, that's what they laminate their Bristol board from the dollar store together with is
Oh,
booger. They got some poor kid named Chang Wao or whatever. What a fucking
yeah.
name. And
Sham Wow, what? Sham Wow, what?
they just force him to sneeze in a bucket all day
Wow.
Oh, you get the
for
pepper cannon.
for glue. Uh,
So, Bo, how busy are you
Yeah.
during the week?
How busy am I during the week? So let's see. I work full time at nights, and then when I'm awake, I am either. Let's see. I don't know. I go to the gym a couple times a week. I don't know. What do you need?
Well, we're kind of because I'd like a few more people besides just Shadow and Justin for a Hobbit game, halfling game. I'm working on about stealing food.
Stealing food.
yeah,
And you haven't asked Connell?
I haven't had a
he,
chance
Connell's,
Oh,
to.
wait a minute. What am I
Connell's not
thinking?
a hobbit,
well, he is short
Well,
enough to be one.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
is he?
he's too tall. He's not tall enough to be one. More accurately,
So he's a gnome? Is that
Man,
what
I
you're
haven't
saying?
heard from Connell in forever. How's he doing?
okay. He's
Pretty okay.
starting to poke his head back out.
Poke his head back up.
He was coming close to drowning for a while there.
Okay.
But yeah,
Alright.
he was here for our Thanksgiving special. Um, I think that was the last time I saw him. Maybe he popped into chat. I'm not really sure. You know, so many
Yeah,
people
I
in
miss
and
his.
out of our lives.
Right, I miss his snark
Mm.
sometimes.
Right. Sometimes it's
Well, well, like anything, it's good in small doses. Like Justin's commentary. It's okay sometimes.
sometimes. So hey, Bo, did I tell you I picked up the Horse Clans book?
As you said you found it for $20.
Yeah,
That's
it's
kind of one I'm interested in, but I haven't really been. I haven't really. I don't know. Every time I see one, I think I might pull the trigger on it. I think about how many other things that I've still got alerts out for.
mhm. Well, there's
No,
only
there.
one other GURP book that I would ever want, and that's the police SWAT book for
Oh,
research.
that
Um,
one. That one's kind of expensive.
Well, I have it on PDF, so
Sure, I've got it in PDF too because it's kind of expensive.
right. But
Yeah, I was just about to mention that they're all in that archive. I keep popping out. So
There's a couple of them. There's Anna's Archive and there's the Eye. And
yeah,
the
that's
thing
the
all those
one.
things have in common is they're all in Europe, so they can't get taken down by copyright orders. Or you get a
yeah,
Yeah,
copyright strike a website that's in Russia or someplace like that. You can't do it.
yeah. Can you send me the link to the first one you mentioned?
Anna's Archive. I think you just Google Anna's Archive. It'll pop right up.
Okay.
oh, Anna's. Okay, why is it called that?
I don't
Someone
know.
named
It's some
Anna
acronym,
created
but
it.
that was the one I was talking the other day when you on your site when you mentioned the Traps books.
Gotcha.
The you said
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those right here.
Grindelwald's Traps or whatever. What is that
Grimtooth.
called? Yeah,
Grimtooth.
Grimtooth's
Grimtooth
Traps.
traps.
And I said, oh yeah, I found that with Anna. Yo ho, yo ho.
Check this out. I forgot to show this on the back of book 2. It's got a
$2.
$2 price tag.
Sweet.
Do you have any of the other ones?
I-
You have book 1 and book 2. Do you have the other ones?
There's only book 4, and
No, there was also book 8.
oh, okay, okay,
And
yeah,
there was one that was like all of them together. There was like an omnibus of them.
Yeah, I
right.
think I seen that one online the other day when you mentioned it.
Yeah, I think they also had a Kickstarter a while ago that was like crazy price, like hundreds of dollars for a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, I can go get the original. I mean, first prints of these for like 15 a piece plus a little shipping. You know, their their reputation is overly inflated. The most of the traps are ridiculously convoluted, and the players are going to see the room and go up trap. There's no way to describe some of them without giving it away, just because they're so vastly different from anything you've ever seen. And if you think about it for a minute, you're like, yeah, I'm not going in there. You know,
Well, you mentioned in your video though what you said. Why would anyone trap a whole complex or a whole wizard tower or a whole And I could think of a few reasons, but I mean,
Cabin in the Woods.
if I say it, I'll give it away. I mean, what if I want to do it in my game?
sure.
Yeah.
I think something like I could go back like Tepe, right? Go back like Tepe when the inhabitants literally and on purposely filled it up with, gravel and dirt to bury the whole complex. Why not trap it as you go? Why not trap something that you're intentionally abandoning?
Well, because I don't think they abandoned it because they didn't want people coming into it. I think they
That's just one
buried it.
example, though.
Right. I think they buried it for a longer posterity to where, hundreds of years later, people would be able to go back to it as opposed to like next Tuesday, and
Right.
therefore they're your enemies. But even then, it's kind of weird, but
Like like the Raiders of the Lost Ark tomb, like the like you said the boulder that rolls down. Why not? Why would you not trap something like that when you don't intend anyone to ever get in there? If it's like the burial place of your God's avatar or something like that,
yeah, I think
then you
I,
could.
I think it makes more sense to make the traps. Like I said, the actual treasure chest or the vault, but like 16 traps getting there. I mean, well, I guess you're not that great a trap maker. You think they're going to make it past the 17th one and finally get into the chamber? If you you do it well enough, you maybe trap the hallway leading in there, and then the thing itself, and you're good. If they get there, what else are you supposed to do? Just make more traps and more traps. You make the place bigger just to accommodate more traps.
Yes,
What?
always.
Well. You don't know. What if the place was actually a trap making training facility for students
Okay.
for making traps?
Or no, I'll tell you why it's the plot device. Why do you make more traps? Because your players need to have something to do on Friday night. That's why you make more traps because the
Well,
whole thing is imaginary. So why
yeah.
not make
Well,
more? traps.
That's the folly of the epic dungeon, then, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to Dave Arneson's day, Gary
Yeah.
Gary Gygax's day.
you
The
need,
mega dungeon is on its face stupid. So
yeah,
it's a role playing game, man. There's nothing
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, I don't mind the mega dungeon under one of two circumstances. One, it was made under just ridiculous amounts of generations. Therefore, like say like 500 says his D&D could possibly be that long. 500 generations of humans just kept expanding the underground. Or it's dwarven.
Or it's what?
Dwarven.
Dwarven.
What about
Yeah.
gnomes?
Well,
Well, do gnomes dig? I know dwarves like living in the holes, but do they dig that much?
I don't know.
Some do.
well, I can see it
Gnomes.
being like a magic construct or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like you're actually in the sand table of the wizard, and you don't even realize it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like magic construct, right? So Dark Lord Beelzebub or whatever, I don't know, make some shit up. Our Dark Lord is always our buddy Beelzebub now.
Oh,
The
shit.
combination of the Winchester House and Hogwarts.
Yeah, he's just like every time you turn a corner, he's just like thinking up a trap and just zapping it there. It's not actually something that was made, right? Or something stupid like that. Or like that's plausible to me. But if you're just going after like a goblin den or an orc den or something like that, that should not be. It should be like 5 rooms, 6 max. You know what I mean?
Well, then we get back to goblins, maybe, but orcs, they're not going to dig a hole. They're going to move into whatever was already there. So they could be in a large complex, but in that instance, that's all they're going to utilize like 5 rooms of it.
In your world, maybe. I got to keep
Yeah.
the players guessing.
Yeah, like I have no problem with orcs making shit.
Maybe in my world, orcs are super intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going off the base template of orc. If you want to go for personalized orcs,
No. I'm
my-
gonna
Okay.
smart ass a little bit.
okay,
Yeah,
well,
A
let's say-
little bit.
But still, I always took the base template of orcs as being like hut building levels of, like they could build things, but just not super complex ones.
That's the
Well, I wasn't saying orcs couldn't build anything in that instance. I was calling them more raider type. Raiders
Sure.
don't usually build; they just take whatever's that they can find.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
But-
I kind of look at it like
Make some small modifications.
first generation, or most orcs are early generation orcs, but as time goes by, with their, I'm assuming shorter lifespans, maybe they it does make sense for them to start learning how to do stuff, and maybe even at an accelerated pace at some point, because their lives are so much shorter, maybe. And that's also assuming that they have short lifespans. If not, then
Right.
then I would agree with crafting. But they seemed like the way Peter Jackson depicted them in the Lord of the Rings movies. I like that you can see there's a malevolent spirit in them that could at some point become quite devious and quite
The actual pure orcs, not the
no,
Urukai. What?
Sauron's.
The Urukai version.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The
So
original
no,
ones, those are just goblins to me.
Well, they are goblins.
That they were
There's
they
no
were
difference.
shifted to goblins in the movie. In the book, they're the actual orcs. Yeah. There's a thing about that, right? Peter Jackson thought they were too
goblins in
similar.
The Hobbit, though.
Well, I thought in the originals, I thought in in the Tolkien lore that they're basically the same thing with just different names.
Right.
Yeah.
Goblins and orcs are no different.
I always understood it as goblins lived in the tunnels long enough to have a metaphysical change compared to the orcs, but basically started off the same.
I am certainly no
Tolkien expert.
Scholar of Tolkien. Yeah,
Neither
I
am
don't.
I. Then
I
since
don't.
that's what my father
I
told
can't
me.
read his stuff. I don't read his stuff out of principle. If you can't describe, he's like the middle, or he's like he's like Dickens. Why should I use one word when I can use 10? If you spend 5 pages describing how the hilt of the sword looks, I'm gonna check out. I'm
You
sorry, it's
must really hate
boring.
Robert Jordan then.
I don't like that long, florid, descriptive language.
What's the joke about Robert Jordan, the Wheel of Time guy? He had several paragraphs on a doily. No, he had several chapters on a doily. No, he had several books on a doily.
There you go.
That's not my style either.
Why use one word when 10 will do?
Not your style, and yet the last book we read, it was a great book. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, well, which one are you talking about specifically? I forget.
Literally the last one we did, the one where everything was 500 pages for a single description.
I'm trying to remember the name. The Face in the Frost.
No.
That was the one before it. That
Moonpool.
one wasn't any better. Moonpool.
Oh,
Fuck Moonpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "Fuck Moonpool" and that stupid writer too.
I liked a lot of things about it, but some of the descriptions, when he's talking about the underground realm, it was too much. But
Yeah.
I now know.
I can see how I can see how he felt if he didn't do that, people wouldn't get what he's trying to lay down.
I now know why Shauna hated D&D, and it wasn't the game; it was the fucking books that inspired it. They all suck, all of them, except for maybe Cthulhu.
No.
All of them.
Bafford
That
and
was
Grey
awesome.
Mouser, Conan, really?
I'm willing
Conan's
to
good.
give up Conan if it means the other ones don't exist anymore.
See,
Bafford and the Great Mouse
there you
was not
go.
that good.
That tells you how bad the other ones are.
That is spite. That is spite for its own sake, right there.
I know, really.
I will throw everything else under the bus. I'll throw the ones I like under the bus to get rid of the ones that I don't like. Boom.
Yeah, there ain't nothing that would get me.
Okay.
Bad talk ever, so
the
fuck
only thing keeping the majority of this list of books not being utter trash is the fact that 80 of them are fucking Lovecraft. Okay, and then Lovecraft still
Lovecraft
revolutionary, but not the best writer.
No, not the best writer, and he uses a lot of words that are just not in common usage anymore.
Well,
so
they were never in
you
common
kind of still need a
usage.
dictionary.
Yeah, I was going to say. Actually, Lovecraft is getting pushed further and further down my top 10 list as time goes by for other people.
You haven't even read anything written after the 1980s, bro.
No, but he could rediscover those books from the 1980s or 1970s.
I'm trying to think if I have. Oh, yeah, I have, actually. I read Grimm's book, Arn of Clayhaven, which was written in the 2000s, if not the 20 teens. I've read
He needs to come out with an audiobook.
Some non-fantasy or fiction books recently that were written very recent, like 2024, 2023. Yeah, most of them though are pretty moldy oldie books. I figure, if I'm lucky, I'll have time to.
You do not know what you're missing, because the genre of fantasy got so much better.
Oh, I read Razor Fists. Oh, I tried reading Razor Fists.
Yeah. I said the genre of fantasy, not the genre of hack bullshit.
Well, it's fantasy, but it's not good. It'll never be on the list. Let's put it that way. I'll never.
Fantasy is hack bullshit.
That kick him.
You think so? Even about like Arthurian and Charlemagne?
No. This is the thing. There's a lot of things that if it takes if they left plot holes that I could drive a Greyhound through,
Yeah,
you
it's
think about how
magic, bro.
these. Again, magic, but like Tolkien's a great example. If you had a world that was the same size as the planet Earth and the same continent the size of Eurasia, and 5 different races on it, I guarantee that one of them would make the other 4 extinct. That's it. The humans would kill all the elves and kill all the dwarfs and kill all the halflings, and that would be it. Only humans. That's what happened in the evolution of hominids.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that was really early on.
there's magic though.
But there's magic.
That's
Harry
the only
Potter
reason
magic.
why. Like there
Well,
are
not only is there
literal
magic though.
robed angels walking around preventing that shit.
Well, yeah, I was going to say not only is
Right.
there magic, but there's in most fantasy
That's what Gandalf was.
there's some sort of
I know.
divinity,
He was a demigod, right?
divine powers that are also keeping things the way they are at the
Yeah.
least, or they have bigger
So they're a
plans.
bunch of communists, basically, what you're saying, right?
No,
No,
no, no. I mean
Preventing,
like
communism.
no. I mean like
preventing progress.
no. The gods are not
You're
quite
misusing the word
ready
communist.
to go to war with one another.
Okay, authoritarians.
You know what I
Maybe.
mean? Even in Greek mythology, none of the gods were willing to go up against Zeus, but they were still willing to, you know, do certain things. You know what
Bitch
I mean?
smack each other.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
backstabby here, a little backstabby there.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Okay,
And
you
you
know.
gotta look at it this way, right? From Tolkien's perspective, the the hobbits are Welshmen, the elves are Scandinavians, the orcs are Germans because he was like the racist of his day, and humans are just like Englishmen or whatever, and the
So
Irish
you
don't
make the
exist
humans
because
Americans and they kill everybody else off.
no. Well, yeah,
I thought the hobbits were more like himself.
Well,
yeah,
he was trying to write a modern mythology, so
yeah.
which is
And usually those races are based on like other cultures and like how alien they are from your perspective. Uh, and all that bullshit. There's some fucking psych class you can take on that Eve psych or whatever.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't
Yeah.
actually see me. I don't actually see me reading any Tolkien anytime soon. I literally have to live another 10 years to get back in the mood to want to read that. There's too many other things on my shelf that I'd rather re-enjoy or finally get to.
That's why it's already crossed off on our checklist, bro.
Yep, yep. It's been done to death. I've literally read The Hobbit close to 20 times, and it's not getting better. There are other books that I read that do get better, if you can believe that. Grey Mouser and Fafford, those books get better. Amber gets better. Um,
You should read The Sword of Truth.
Already
Yeah.
at Watch the Stick of Truth.
I did actually watch The Stick of
Played
Truth.
you
Uh,
played it.
is that Robert Jordan?
No. That's Wheel of Time.
Okay,
The Sword of Truth is Terry Goodkind.
okay.
Yeah. I'll send you the audio books later. Or I'll put them in a Google Drive. And you can
That
download.
reminds me, I need to look up Lord Foulsbane. I need to read that just out of curiosity. Why it was so big and then it just dropped off the map.
Lord Falsback. If you can find it, I've looked for it a few times. Let me know. Maybe it's on Audible, but
The Bay of E.
well, yeah. Those books, because we could do them in 3 weeks. Do the first one in 3 weeks. I think it's your pick or mine or Omnow's. Yeah. Uh,
Okay, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Maybe that's why, because I'm not finding it on eBay. Um,
well, they're on the list, so
are they?
I do believe so.
I don't think they may be on a different list. They're not in the Dungeon Master's Guide because I think they came out
No,
afterward.
maybe I'm thinking of the writer. Then I'm thinking of the Lord
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dunsany.
Lord Volcourt.
Stephen R. Wait,
Oh.
Lord Dunsany. It's like number 9 on the
no,
list.
no, 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 no. This is Stephen R. Donaldson,
Oh, okay.
the Thomas Covenant. And here I'm finding part one of the Chronicles of the Thomas Covenant, the the Unbeliever, book one. There's a what do you call it? A YouTube video read by John Chancer. But yeah, that's the first book. In 1977, that might be why it's not on the list. It might have just come out so recently that he had not actually had a chance to read it, or either of them had a chance to read it.
Bye bye, Justin.
Who left?
Justin.
Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
Well, apparently, he wrote other things.
Did you write some stuff too? 'Cause I hate when guys only write things. Sometimes you have to add some stuff to your repertoire.
Okay, wait. I think I found them all, plus extras.
Yeah.
The One Tree, The Wounded Land, The Power That Preserves, The Ill Earth War, and Lord Foulsbane, plus two others. I'm going to put a watch on that
Yeah.
and watch the
Are these
various.
long books?
Kind of. They look
Uh,
350 pages. Um,
whatever happened to good short stories? I can't have a book a story I can just read while I'm sitting on the can or something, you know?
that's why Fritz Lieber's Grey Mouse and Fafford and Conan are great because that's how they work. You know,
I know. Well,
they
the Conan stuff was written. They were, magazine articles for crying out loud.
yeah.
I love that. I love that you can just, be done with a story in an afternoon, not be so heavily invested. Because my attention span is about that long.
Well, you're also pretty damn busy. 2 years ago, I was just telling somebody this at the swap meet last weekend. I used to read a paperback book, 250 pages a day, every day, and then things changed with my schedule a little, and uh, I couldn't pull that off. And then when I tried, I would end up. It might as well have been taking a sleeping pill.
Right.
Well, especially if you're laying down in a nice, comfy couch with a paperback.
Sure.
At my age, you're lucky if you wake up. Um, but
Make sure you
and
read
I'm not.
paperbacks, not hardbacks, so you don't drop it on your face when you fall asleep.
Well, I'm actually. I was talking about this last week. I'm trying to get all my books converted to hardback, get rid of the paperbacks. Give those away and have nothing but hardback. So my son gets a hernia. A month after I die, and he's lugging all my books to storage or something.
No, a month after you fake your death.
Right, right, right. Well, right. And with Lord Foulsbane and the Ill Earth War and those books, I know nothing about them. I literally, I tried reading the first one, and I was really young, and so I just couldn't get into it. I don't know what happened to it. I think I traded it in to get other books at my local bookstore. So I don't know if
Right.
it's good or not. I just know that there was a period of time in the early '80s where if you ask the question, hey, what's a good fantasy series I should read to get into Dungeons and Dragons, half the people would say that, and it could be hot garbage. I don't know. So I'll probably go and check out the audiobook that I saw on YouTube and see if it's any good before I talk too much more about it. But I, I'm amazed how there's a lot of books on the appendix that I never hear people talk about. You know,
Well, that's true, but I mean, there's also world crafting, world building for most role playing gamers has become a lost art. So,
right?
for good or ill, it's just, like you said, people are busy. And
Hmm.
how do you have time when you're trying to pay the rent and buy groceries? And if I have like a 3-to-1 ratio, it takes me 3 times longer to prep a game than it does to play a game. So if I'm spending 3 or 4 or 5 hours in prep time for a
How
two
does it
hour
take you that long to prep? I
dude, I'm always
literally, I literally spend less than an hour a week for a 4-hour game.
no, I'm glad that you can.
Um,
I mean, you should see the thing is my game Bible right now is like 100 pages long, but it's in real time as we progress through the game. I need to organize it into geography and game world history versus.
yeah, I haven't even
Because
used 20 pages of a 70-page spiral notebook.
no, I do all mine with Word documents. With a Word document, I
Mm.
have one large Word document called Game World or something like that. Game
Hmm.
something or other. That's just I just sit down at the computer. I usually sit down. Well, maybe it's 1-to-1. About two
Come here,
hours before game
Brownie,
we start,
fucker.
It's a
I'll sit
caramel
down at
cake.
5:30. On a Friday afternoon, and it's me and about 3 game books open, and I just start writing.
Really
Yeah.
That's a cake with caramel
nice.
encased in chocolate.
I think we're down to like 3 or 4 pieces of fudge from the batch I made, and I gotta see if I've got the ingredients in the house to make some more in time for the holidays, and then not share it with anybody but Jackie.
That boy does not deserve any fudge.
Why not?
He's not a fudge packer.
But
Thank you.
make sure you tip your waitress.
He'll be here all week.
And next week. And the week after. And the week after.
Packing the fudge.
Well, no, just shadow box the fudge.
No,
We make fun of him for it. Them's the rules.
No, I
so,
did,
Them's the rules ever since he made me watch that poor Latin guy stroke one off on me.
I didn't make you.
I told you, don't let him in. Don't let him in. Shadow, don't let him in. He's going to do something wrong. You're going to regret it. And you're like, oh, it's safe. He knows about sci-fi armor. I need to get water now.
He sounded like he was on board with the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone who played Halo can sound like they were on board with the conversation.
Well, that's a step in the right direction, though, isn't it?
And then he shows up and turns his camera on, and he's a hairless, naked dude.
That's. I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah.
Excuse me
Uh,
while I whip this
I
out.
wish I could say the same thing, but no, I was there. And the next 2 weeks after that were equally
You keep
disturbing.
saying I did not see any of that. I'm just saying I've seen some horrific things today,
But they didn't get past the green room.
and they're still not as bad as seeing a hairless, naked dude stroking one. Okay, they were worse, but still.
So is that where you went? Was to go get cake?
No, the power went out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Now he has to reset all his clocks.
Clocks. Ew.
You don't have any clocks?
Yeah.
Microwave,
I got a
stovetop.
cell phone. Oh, but the, I guess those things have clocks, but who the fuck uses those?
I keep mine. My ADD requires that I keep them set. I can't just have them saying 12 o'clock.
Well, I live with other people. They can deal with that.
Oh, well, I live with other people and they won't deal with that. So
I'm okay with that.
Won't deal with what? Sorry.
The
resetting the
clock on the
clocks.
microwave. You can get like these things that go into the plug, the wall, and then you plug your devices into them, and they have like a little battery.
Yeah.
So the power goes out for just like a few minutes, half hour or so. You don't have to worry about that.
My next big purchase is going to be a backup generator. The only thing keeping me from doing it right now is I don't know if the shed is quite big enough for it.
You should plan on a venting system.
I will. It's going to have the exhaust with a muffler, like a car muffler, that goes up through the roof of the generator. I mean, the roof of the structure that will enclose the generator. I just need to make sure I've got enough square footage. I've got the money. I just don't have, because I don't want to pour an extra concrete pad for it. That's the big thing. So if it'll fit on that footprint, and then an automatic crossover so I don't blow the house up, and run a gas line to it. Easy, Bob's your uncle. People do it all the time. And the thing is, we don't lose power that often, but you never know.
Justin seems to
Even
be
when we
having
had those,
power issues, period.
what's that?
Justin seems to be having power issues, period.
Yeah. Well, maybe he needs a backup generator.
Yeah. I think he lives in an apartment building.
Yeah. Tesla wall then. You still need to poke holes in the wall to do that, and you probably just can't tell your landlord, "Hey, I'd like to take down this sheetrock right here so I could put in a Tesla wall." That would probably not probably be frowned upon.
Yeah.
Um, we lose Shadow too.
And he went
Perfect.
downstairs to get a cigarette.
Oh
So
yeah,
he'll be a minute.
coffin nails.
Yeah.
They say each one takes 5 minutes off your life, but it's the last 5 minutes, so who cares? You don't lose 5 minutes out of the middle, and you don't lose 5 good minutes, unless it's the quality of life. It's just spend the last year of your life in a hospital with lung cancer or something like that.
When people make those type of comments, they drastically underestimate how quickly those 5 minutes stack up.
Or the quality of those last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like my dad's dad spent the last years of his life with only one lung and only one leg. Lost the lung to cancer, and then it metastasized, and he lost a leg too. So
Ever since hearing Jeff Dunham, all I can think of when someone says missing a leg is, and Santa's on dialysis and missing a leg.
that's what they said happened to Osama bin Laden
Yeah.
when he was on dialysis. Uh, why did I have to buy a whole box of miniatures? Why couldn't I just bought one miniature?
What miniature is it? Or miniatures, I should say.
It's a Chaos Space Marine.
I'm meaning to get some of those.
It's a great mini. It's a freaking awesome mini, but it's going to be hell to paint because he's got lots of slime and tentacles and
I
severed
have
heads. And
I have the what was the it was a fairly recent edition, one of the big, you know, basic boxes. It's got two armies in it that had
yeah,
Chaos Space Marines and regular Space
regular space.
Marines.
Yeah, I don't
It
know
had
what
the
year was that. The last one of those was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was Death Guard. Death Guard it was the Death Guard launch box.
I
If
know
you have
it's
one of
got a
those, I would definitely buy it from you. At least I would buy the Chaos Space Marine half from you for sure.
well, I know it's got some cultists and a Chaos Dreadnought, and I think
Oh,
it's got some. And I think it's
I
got.
don't. I
I,
don't
I
remember
didn't
one of
buy
the
the
Chaos.
box. I bought parts from it
Right.
here and there.
Well, when you're interested in not having it anymore, I'll definitely give you a fair price for it.
I gotta find it. And it's not. I mean, they're partially assembled, partially painted. I think this was like 4 more years ago. Um,
Yeah, I've
Right,
been
but I
wanting this.
have I have a I have an ultrasonic cleaner that will take paint off like nothing, so I
yeah,
don't
we were
worry
just
about
talking about
that.
that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Shadow. According to Shadow, Jackie's actually got a combat, but not a combat patrol, a battle forces. Because I looked it up, battle forces Necrons. It's like, I would very much like to say, Jackie, if you want to get rid of that, let me know. But A, it was a gift from Shadow, and B, I'm afraid Jackie might actually take me up on that because most teenagers don't give a shit about presents.
Right.
hold on, Justin. I'm having a little technical difficulty here for some reason.
It isn't until you get older that
I'm kind of
you realize
interested.
the significance of what a present from, especially your father, means.
Yeah, it was it was
Yeah,
it was one of the first miniature things I ever got him from our local games workshop. Shortly after they opened, it's got this cool spider, giant spider thing, and a
right,
Necron Lord, a couple of scarabs, some warriors, and to be honest, that's like one of the only armies I would consider building and playing.
right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean those actually sell more. Though if it's the one I think it is, they actually sell for more than they did brand new from Games Workshop.
right. Like there are a couple of them that were like that. Like and especially if you like beat the bushes. Like I got on
Again,
eBay when I was on looking for these guys on eBay. They were going for like an incredible amount. But when then I started looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I did this real unusual thing. I started like asking nicely, "Hey, does anybody have any of these? I sure would like to have some. I'm interested in building up a force." And this guy's like, "Yeah, I've got some. I'll let you have for like $100." I'm like, "Okay, where do you want to meet?" And it was like I have to show you this. I bought this lot, and the lot was like $100, I think. And when I got home, I started going through it to find the box. There was actually one of the old Chaos Nurgle demon in metal,
Nice.
and
wow.
it's a huge model, and it's missing it's missing the original sword, but he replaced it with another sword, which was fine because it's the right size. But when I started looking for this thing online, this model costs more than $100 by itself.
Not a big surprise.
It's a
It's like
really really cool
yeah, it's like
mini.
James. I made a deal with James to send him a leather. Well, I think it's rabbit skin. I wasn't 100% sure. It's scrap leather, but it was fur with
Right.
in exchange for a bunch of miniatures. One of the miniatures he sent me. Well, first off, do you know of the if you send your vibes out into the universe will send you back what you want. Like if you
Yeah,
concentrate on
it's
something you
witchcraft.
want large
Knock that shit
enough,
off.
the universe will give it to you. Do you know that
Yeah.
theory?
Well, yeah, I'm
Well,
familiar
I
with it.
was taught that. Yeah, well, I would just say I was taught that in high school by a nutso professor from I don't know, God knows where. Even our teachers consider him nuts after hearing this shit. This made me almost believe in that because ever since I started painting about a year ago, I've been drooling over a Glasgow Throckmorton miniature. And
Uh-huh.
when I went to make a deal with James, I told him, I have things I specifically want, but I want this to be more to what, since the leather doesn't cost me that much, I want to be more to what you're willing to send. It's like,
Right.
sounds great. So he's like, I'll send you a bunch of boys. Like, okay. I was kind of hoping he might send something else, but I'm like, okay, a bunch of boys will still do. And then he's like, literally says to save his life, he could not find those boys anywhere. So instead, with a bunch of other miniatures, he sends me a Glasgow Thraka.
Yeah.
And getting to the point of the story where you come in, one of the miniatures he sent me is one of the over $100 tanks, the float, the
A Gravis tank.
trackless, yeah, the Gravis tank.
So
Nice.
here's the mini, and it was super glued together and green stuffed, and it's cool because the guy that put it together used he pinned it with like a brass square stock,
Yeah,
and this arm fits inside the other
nice.
when I take it apart. Okay, so this is the arm with the missing sword, but this is obviously a demon sword of the same vintage, and I'm going to have to use a little green stuff to make it fit. That's not a problem at all. That'll be easy peasy. And then the other arm and the metal smokestacks. But this is weird because every example I've seen online does not have a shoulder pauldron for the plague spewer arm, but this one has a pauldron. So when I put it on, I'm going to use super glue instead of epoxy. So that that pauldron could pop
Let's
off
see.
if I need it someday. But
Where did I
that's
put
the
this
next.
thing?
This is an expensive mini, but it was in the box, and I bought the whole box for $100.
I can barely make it out.
Yeah, your camera's kind of fuzzy.
No,
Well, it should be clear now.
No.
No.
Okay, well, it's clear to me.
Yeah. It's not the focus, it's the resolution.
Resolution.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we were looking for one of the, I think they're called monoliths, the Necron, pyramid.
Oh, Necron
freaking
monoliths, yeah.
thing. Now they're like $200.
Yeah.
The box brand.
Necrons, as much as Games Workshop wants to push the Space Marine, Necrons have taken place as literally the most, at least for secondhand purchasing, most expensive miniatures you can get.
And
from
we
Games
saw
Workshop.
a bunch of these kits where
Well,
you
they're
could replace
harder to
the
get as
green
well.
gem with light up gems. Hey, what's up, Cal? It's like it's underwater, Bo. And we were really close to pulling the trigger on that, but it was just it would have ran us, in excess of $250 for one thing on the table.
I remember when they first released them back in like 2001 ish.
Hmm.
I want to say they were like $70.
Yep.
It was
The
nuts back then.
monoliths.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that was kind of crazy, considering
Remember Beasts of War? Was it Beasts of War? The YouTube channel?
No.
The
No.
one out of the
Hey,
UK.
free. What's up, Cal?
They got their channel nuked by Games Workshop for giving a negative review on that they released a monolith say 2010 2012 somewhere around there that was like almost pre-built. It was pre-built and painted, and it had a mechanism so it would spit out it was an absolute toy. It wasn't a game piece. It was a fucking toy. It would spit out your Necron troops. You would load them out and it would spit them out. But obviously, one fuck up and the thing would crush your delicately painted, spindly Necrons, right?
Sure.
So they gave a bad review on it. First of all, it's the wrong market. Like the people buying your product want to put the models together and paint them. Why are you releasing a pre-assembled, pre-painted thing with some gimmick in it? And it's like, no. And then 2 days later, their channels a channel that was as big as like the largest. It was one of the largest wargaming channels on YouTube. Just
Uh,
up and disappeared, and they had to start all over again. I think they're like rebranded a few years later as On Tabletop or something like that.
yeah, well, those companies, man, they'll nuke you for
Yeah,
any kind of IP, or they could call it an IP violation, and that's it.
yeah,
Because
like
because a lot of these big corporations, like the media corporations, are afraid of the backlash,
yeah,
so they err on the
Most media
side of,
corporations are owned by big corporations, so it's not
oh
media
sure,
backlash. It's easy enough to go, oh, by the way, slander this other company for me, and I'll pay your company this in the non taxable grants or whatever it is that businesses can do between each other and basically give each other money with tax free.
tax free.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. Cal, I've got about a dozen Necrons, including a decent pharaoh looking chap, but it's not going to happen. They are partially painted, but Jackie and I will probably not have the opportunity to do anything like that anytime soon. So,
Yeah, it's too bad. Like I said, because your crafting videos are probably my favorite. Well, that and why we play the game. Why we play the game might be my favorite, but your crafting videos are consistently entertaining. I know that you think that they don't get the views, but I don't care what
well,
gets the views. I only care what I watch.
mm,
I'm pretty happy with both of those, and those two categories are what I hear the most from our friends. When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? That's why I did the Eternal DM and what do you want from your RPG experience? And I've got a couple more coming up, but the craft videos, it's just not the same. It's not as fun without him, and you know, I feel almost uh, bad when I try to do one without him. It's like uh, how do I put it?
mm-hmm.
Almost like a betrayal, for him that he's not able to do it, and I went on without him, kind of thing. And he talks about it every once in a while about wanting to do it, but he's doing so well with his own projects that I don't want to get in the way of that. Uh, that's his real passion, as it were. So might as well let him.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have your own new secondary YouTube channel soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it you eating a banana? Tell me it's you eating a banana.
No.
No, no.
No.
I'm trying to get Raven to make a YouTube channel to do her thing instead of doing it on the radio, which is not really the radio; it's the internet. It's a company that mostly does like the telepsychic stuff, which I don't like. Um, it's always been charlatan-esque to me. Those people that do that sort
Even
of thing.
if, well, here's the thing, they've actually been able to prove this a couple of times through studying the psychics. Even those that truly believe they're being psychic, actually just ask the right questions to give the good answer, the correct answer.
Well, I mean, anybody with a couple of months in a decent psychology class could offer up good advice,
Yeah,
but claiming that it's coming from something supernatural or metaphysical or whatnot, the human brain is full of weird crap, and to try to hype it as something other than just good, solid advice, you know,
yeah.
just to me smacks of the old palm readers. And back in Los Angeles when I used to live there was like a palm reader shop on every corner, and now there's none because the city said you're not doing that. That's utter flim flammery or whatever they called it. Yeah, Miss Cleo, stuff like that. Yeah, and most of them got in a lot of hot water for it, and they don't do that anymore. I'm sure they went underground, and etc. But it just seems like you're taking advantage of people. And if your own life is, if you're not like a millionaire from being able to benefit from your own abilities, then you don't have any abilities. Just saying. You can help other people get rich and famous, but you can't help yourself. So I was trying to get her
That
to,
that's where a lot of the whole oh well you can't use your own powers for personal gain bullshit comes into play.
yeah, yeah. Anybody else can, but if you're gifted, you can't. That doesn't make any logical sense. So I was trying to get her to make a channel. I told her, okay, if you don't make a video in a week, just your minute and a half intro that she does on her radio show to let people know, hey, I'm going to be doing YouTube stuff. And a week went by and she didn't, so I took her intro and I recorded me doing it, and just to show her how easy it is. And
Yeah. So everybody, keep your eyes out for the Corvus Hawk Paranormal something something channel
yeah,
coming out soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
get adjusted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the Corvus Hawk Paranormal something something channel when it comes out.
Uh,
I
I'm probably
expect
gonna I'm
that.
probably gonna redo it because when I did it,
Fuck
you can
no,
still
it's the Corvus Hawk
no I mean
Paranormal
the actual
something something
video because
show.
I did it up here, Justin, and even though I put my pirate flag, you can still see all my game stuff. It looked like crap, and
Yeah,
I've got uh,
you need to angle the thing down a bit, right? So it's not looking up at you because it does kind of look up at you, right? So angle it so it's looking straight at you, right? So you won't see it, and then just have the sheet. Just take like a bed sheet. Just get a bed sheet so it looks very cheap. Like if you have a plaid bed sheet, even better. And just have it held up by the like. Just lift up the boxes to like
that's what I
No.
did.
fucking.
Do you have a purple Galaxy Spiral bed sheet?
No,
That'd be
I
even
was I
better.
was gonna look for something like you said, bigger and more appropriate than the pirate flag.
Yeah,
Um,
because you look like you're gonna sell some crypto with the pirate flag up there, bro.
Right, right. It just I read the thing, and on one version I changed stuff a little,
Yeah.
and on one I just read verbatim what she reads. I think I might have
Yeah.
missed
You
a
understand what
couple
I
of.
mean by the angle, right? Like right now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
What
look
what
like
what it
you're
is
shooting
my
that
my
way.
tablet's got because I record from my tablet, not my laptop, and my tablet's got this little folding case that turns into a stand, if you will, but it
Mhm.
has to be at an angle, otherwise it doesn't stand up. So I got to make something so that it'll do exactly what you said.
The stand I got for the phone was like $20, and they got the same thing that holds the pads.
Okay,
It's got like a telescopic lens, so you can
I was just
and
going to
it
use some
holds it straight.
Legos. That's what I did when
Okay,
I got Techie his
if
first.
that works, it works.
When I got Techie his first tablet, I literally we made a Lego tablet stand, and it worked great. Um,
Okay. So what you do is you record 4 videos on like the first or second of the month, and have them timed to be like like pick a day and have the videos timed so they come out once a week. So like do a Bigfoot video, a UFO video, and just make them nondescript or generic, like 15-minute videos. Spend an hour.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem, Justin. I don't believe in
Just
that stuff.
doesn't matter. That's the whole point of the channel. The point is that you're ripping off segments from Raven's show.
No, I wanted her to do her own thing and actually do it. She's got 23 subscribers, and most of those are people waiting for her to do her own show.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Is
24 now.
I unsubscribed from her like a long time ago, so I got sick and tired of waiting.
Did you hear that, Raven? Because I know you're out there in TV land watching, or you'll watch it later.
I did a purge, and if I hadn't watched the show or knew what the fuck Jenna was, it went bye.
Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've only deleted one. Did I ever send you a link to that channel that I did delete?
no.
Oh, okay. I'll remind me and I'll do it. It's such a shame. He was a
Yeah.
fun guy, but he was definitely um, on an incredibly low budget, and half-assing a lot of the stuff that he did, but showing that you could literally half-ass. His big shtick was taking HeroClix miniatures and stripping them and turning them into D&D miniatures because they were so freaking cheap, you know. And he did some cool stuff and with a little more attention to detail, which he started getting better at. But then he started getting political, and you know,
Yeah.
the idea of having 16-year-olds vote, it just freaking
Yeah.
ground my gears big time. So, but
Um,
I'll,
someone just asked me if I wanted chocolate, and even though I just had some chocolate, I want more chocolate. So I'll be back in a minute.
you are
More
lucky.
chocolate, good.
Lucky duck.
It's about time for me to make sure that I gotta go upstairs and cook supper. I should have done it hours ago, but I had the wife go to the grocery store to get some ingredients that I was missing.
No worries.
Ooh. Looks like I'm gonna get some good demon proxies from the Dungeons and Lasers. So I was just thinking about that. Like Bo has got those death guard. No,
Yeah, Death Guard, Plague Marines.
Plague Marines. Okay, they look kind of bloated. That's why I was like Death Guard.
Yeah, they're not. They are blue. That's what. There are three things I love about Plague Marines. One, I don't really like body horror a whole lot, but they've got this steampunk aesthetic mixed in with it.
Yeah.
Like they've got like on their power packs have like this guy is a good example. He's got like a smokestack like you'd see on a lawnmower. Like there's a muffler and a couple of smokestacks sticking.
Yeah.
And you see a lot that steampunk kick in, and then they're all fat. They're like big fat guys with armor. So it's like,
Yeah.
look at me, I got this big paunchy belly.
If I can find, if I look around, I can probably find it.
That's funny.
I have there's a miniature from Reaper that looks kind of like a cross between a Nurgle and Slanesh miniature. The Slanesh comes from the fact it just has a crab arm, but primarily it looks like a sea Nurgle Space Marine just without a backpack.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, Eons of Battle, where he painted all his Plague Marines up in almost a nautical theme.
Yeah.
They look really good.
Oh yeah.
My gosh, man! That teal green and rust brown aesthetic, where it looks like something like the guys from like the undead. Well, they're not really undead, but the sea demons from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the Disney one. Like that just slaps.
No, I think those qualify as undead, honestly.
Well, they're definitely not dead.
Well,
but they're not alive either.
Yeah, well, I think vampires fall into the category of undead, but they're a living undead, for lack of a better term. And I think that's what these guys fall under, is living undead.
That's another thing too. I mean, when you look at like a lot of like D&D is a good example. It tries to take examples from across cultural stories and backgrounds and mash them together where they don't necessarily mash together in different cultures.
Yeah.
But like, and I guess it actually started with the 1930s, the MGM horror movies, because a mummy is definitely not the same as a golem, is definitely not the same as a vampire. But hey, look, MGM's going to put them all three together in one movie.
Yeah.
With the Wolfman too. Don't forget the Wolfman.
What movie is that?
Well, there's two of them. I don't know the mainstream one, but there was also Siskill. What is it? Oh, what the fuck was it? What the fuck is that movie?
What movie?
What's the one with the two black and white comedians? One's fat.
Oh, Abbott and Costello.
Thank you. Abbott and Costello meets the monsters.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I don't remember a golem.
Frankenstein's monster is a flesh golem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
in fact, that's the original. The original golem is a monster made out of animal parts. That it's a kabbalistic. Well, it's kabbalistic. Kabbalistic legend. It's kabbalistic
I thought they were
literature.
made out of clay.
That's a Jewish golem.
Yeah. A golem is Jewish.
Yeah, I thought that was the original. Was the clay versions.
Oh, you're
And
probably
then
right.
other people
Well, there's
came up
been a
with
version of the golem for a very, very long time. A creature
yeah, the
Anyway, but
clay golem goes
that was
back to hundreds of
created
thousands of years.
out of something else
point
to
is,
make a
Frankenstein's
new
monster's a
creature.
flesh golem. That's
Yeah.
regardless. That's just what I'm getting
Okay,
at.
okay. I was
I'm
like,
trying to be as generic as possible.
gotcha.
I'm just being generic. Okay. I think these guys are sufficiently clean. I can start building bases tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just got an order in from. I find. I got an order in from Green Stuff World, and I
Really?
got some 25 millimeter barbed wire.
I've got some right here. I got from Army Painter. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for.
5 meters worth of 25 millimeter scale barbed wire.
I know what I
I'm
would
gonna
do with
wrap
that.
it. I'm gonna wrap it around a pencil to make some concertina wire
Right.
and put pieces of it on all of my bases. Oh, and I also got some 25 millimeter scale bricks for Rebel.
Nice.
I
Cool.
just make my own from Her Starts and Dental Plaster.
I would probably could make my own from
I also got some lasagna.
Quick Mat because I buy little quart coasters at Hobby Lobby, but my time is how much is my time worth?
Right.
If I could
That's
buy a box of
usually-
them for $10 and just a box of them will last me my whole life.
Yeah, that's usually a big part of the hobby tax. Is how much is your time worth when it comes to buying specialized hobby products. That's why I refuse to buy certain hobby tools when I can go to the hardware store and get equivalents. Sure, they're
That's
not.
a different animal. Going to the hardware store and buying something that counts as is not nearly the same as sitting down at my hobby desk and making something out of whole cloth.
No, I meant tools. When it comes to making something, that's different. I prefer to do it as cheaply as possible with.
Trust me, the God Hands clippers are
Yeah.
fucking worth it.
Oh yeah, I've got the red grass that are really similar. They're single sided. Yeah, single sided nippers are worth it because you can cut really close.
The God Hands are, the cheap wire cutters that you get on a spectrum. On a spectrum, the red grass ones are here. Cheap wire cutters are here, and the God Hands are like my arm is fully extended the other way,
All
like
right.
on that spectrum.
Yeah, I need to invest in some of those. I mean, I actually
But they're
managed
like $60 a pair.
Yeah, I managed to luck out. I got a pair of Citadels from a box starter set.
They're down there with the wire cutters.
Hey,
They're
these
worse than the red grass.
these clip better than the Army Painters.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Oh no, I can tell you right now, it's true.
The Army Painter ones are garbage.
Yeah, a lot of things Army Painter puts out not as good as it should be. I do like the Masterclass dry brushes.
No, I tell you what, this is the pin vise from Army Painter for $7 or $8. I mean, bearings are great, and if I put the middle size adapter in it, it is the exact size as the shanks on the PCB drill bits. So that
I've got a cheap pin vise that I got on eBay from China somewhere.
Does it have bearings?
And,
Trust
yeah,
me.
this one does.
Yeah, no, the one Shadow has.
It doesn't even have that at the end. It's just
No, it's not there it is. Let's see
No,
here.
this is probably bang for the buck. I mean, for $7 or $8 or whatever, this has been really awesome. I use it almost every day.
I got one that was called Craft 911 pin vise, but the main reason I bought it is because it came with a crap ton of drills.
yeah, mine's only
I
got
buy
like 20 or 30.
PV bits by the box
Bits.
from China.
and I've had it for a decade. I use it not very often, but I've never had a problem with it. And if it breaks down or something, I might get a new one. But A lot of my tools are, I don't push them very hard, so they tend to last a good long time.
There are some tools that it's just worth like. There are some tools no, you don't spend money on, but there are other ones that are like the quality, the boost in results are just so much more phenomenal that it's worth spending the
Oh
money.
yeah, that's why I got the Proxon. I've used it exactly 2 or 3 times, and it's in the closet. I haven't used it in years, but I know when
But
I go to use it.
if you were still doing hobby stuff that involves foam,
Well, yeah, but then I would also be looking for a storage unit to put those things. So
well, yeah, you could also be like, okay, we made a wizard's tower. Now we're going to do a battle on the wizard's tower
sure.
for like as like b- week one we built the craft. Week two we devise a campaign. Week 3 and 4 we play a scenario on the channel. But
No, 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 no.
the
At week
boys over
three
the
and
age of
four,
12 now.
week 3 and 4, Shadow makes a little cannon. Then week 5 and 6, as we're doing this scenario, Shadow slowly blows up the model by shooting it with mini cannonballs.
Fiery
Yeah,
cannonballs. Oh,
Yeah.
he
yeah.
shoots it with cotton balls soaked with Vaseline and shot with a rubber band trebuchet right
Well,
into
he
his
should have.
wizard tower.
Well, he should have plenty of Vaseline at his house. That's for sure.
But
Uh, Most of what you just described would be something I'd have to wait to get to Texas to do. Where I live, no.
now that shipping Vaseline might still be illegal in Texas.
Well, I
Justin's
was
having
actually thinking
issues
of
again.
using. I was thinking of using fireworks.
No, oh, absolutely. Hey, if you want to do something like that now, if it, all right, I have got to go upstairs
Where
and
where we live, we actually have basically there isn't much in the way of an ordinance law. As long as you don't hurt anybody, you're good.
That's
so that's
nice.
definitely not Canada.
No, I live next to Canada, but well, here most everyone up here has a lot of private property, and most of us who have private property also own guns. So we would not appreciate saying, "Oh, you own private property, you can't shoot guns in this area anymore." See how quickly we'll just ignore that, so they don't even bother.
Good for you.
Yeah, North Idaho isn't the best state. Uh, I'm willing to bet it isn't the best state, but we definitely aren't the worst state either.
And I like Idaho, but the problem with Idaho is the same problem with Utah and Arizona and Nevada. Everybody from California moves there, and they bring California with them.
Yeah,
Look what they did
but
to
I've heard,
Montana for crying out loud.
which is true. But I've also heard to a degree a lot of the Californians who moved up here are actually moving back because they could only bring so much California with them, unlike everywhere else they went. There's only so much North Idaho put up with.
Hey,
Because they ruined
Mhm.
Oregon first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too because at some point, a lot of the people that left left to get out. You know what I mean, and not to change where they left.
Oh, they
But
left to get out, but then they realized that this was nothing like where I came from. I mean,
no,
look at Texas for
there
crying out
were
loud.
a
They're
lot.
ruining Texas.
There were a lot of people, especially I want to say between 4 and 6, 8 years ago that left. Those were the good ones. The ones that have left in the last 4 years are the ones you got to worry about, which sucks because when I do go, they're going to think I'm one of them. So I got to like get my U-Haul truck and move it and take it to Arizona first and switch license plates or something, or say, hey, I need Arizona plates, or something like that, so that when I drive into town, I can just say, yeah, I'm from Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's not suspicious at all. You go to Arizona. You got. Yeah, I need Arizona plates. Where are you going? I'm not going to tell you. Well,
Well,
sir,
the thing
you really
about
have to tell
U-Hauls
us,
is a
otherwise
lot
we're
of
not
times the
going to give
U-Hauls
you the plates.
are already from other states because they're the U-Haul stations.
No, no,
the
no.
shops.
What I'm referring to is Shadow goes in as a customer. I need different plates. They're like, tell me where you're going. I don't have to. Yes, actually, sir, you do have to tell us to get those
Oh
plates.
no, I have
Fine.
no problem telling where I'm going.
Yeah,
Only
and no.
I
Then
go
they
to
phone
the
ahead. Oh, by the way, this guy's trying to show up. He as saying he's from a different state, and
No,
then
I'm
you get
talking about
pulled
the
over.
neighbors. When the neighbors see me pull in, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
I want them to think, oh, he's just from Arizona, or whatever.
Shadow. I'm playing into your suspicion of the system.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've rented a truck before. I know they need to know where you're going because you got to drop the truck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So they're gonna know where you're going. Um,
as Justin would say. Let's see here. Whoosh.
yeah,
All
and
right.
Justin, better hurry up. I'm shutting the show down in 8 minutes. I got to do
Yeah,
some stuff.
it's time to. I said it's time to go. It's time to cook supper. It's only 8 o'clock here. Oops.
Well, we keep holding you up, so you better get going, man.
No, that's all right. I mean, I want to. I'm. I'm trying to finish these last two
Yeah,
models that
okay, I
I
see
said
what
these
you're
were
doing.
these were in the lot, and I don't like the arms that were on them, so I popped the arms off to try to
Holy crap!
re-
Yeah,
replace
I
them
got
with.
a. When I was talking about that miniature with Glasgow Struck, I got a whole lot of Space Marines. Like according to James, somewhere between 1,500 and 1,200 Primaris space points worth of Primaris Space Marines.
Oh, I got a whole army in a box. Huh?
Yeah. No
Nice.
offense to James, but he is a bit thick with the paint, so I couldn't just paint over his paint job to repaint them. I had to strip them. But
Right.
I've already learned to get them to a paintable point because they're really bunched up in the pits. I have to actually debond them and clean them that way.
Did he put them together with crazy glue or plastic glue?
Plastic glue.
Oh, okay. Well, then you got to get a razor blade out. And...
Now
Well,
it's
what I'm going to do is use a little bit of the. He did a terrible job of gluing them down, so it doesn't actually take that much to debond it with just a little bit of the
glue.
glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to have to do that I think he might have done a good job on because I haven't tried it yet is taking off one of the shoulder pads because I am a Grey Knights player, so I got to get a bunch of Grey Knights shoulder pads.
I'd probably,
I
yeah,
freaking love the Grey Knights.
I've noticed a
there are
trend
no
in what I like.
Primaris Green Knights, though. There are no
I
Primaris Green Knights.
Actually, I asked, at least according to in Wikipedia, there are. They're just rare.
Oh, okay.
As they should
Make
be.
your
All the Grey
make
Knights
your
should be
own
bred.
make your own lore anyway.
Yeah, but I've noticed a trend when it comes to the armies and units I like in Warhammer. Let's see if you guys get the trend. Orcs, Sisters of Battle, Grey Knights, Warp Spiders. Seeing the trend? Things that
What else,
heavily
Space
resist the warp.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my jammer. Things that heavily resist the warp.
just embrace it.
Warp spiders are, if you got for those that don't know, are a unit from the Eldar
Eldar.
that actually transverse the warp without a Geller field to get to one end of the battlefield to the other.
Well, see, now I'm totally the opposite. Like to supplement my Death Guard army, I picked up a box of the now discontinued Gellerpox Infected
Nice.
to make into Chaos Spawn because the Chaos Spawn do not look Nurgly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the Gellerpox Infected, if you put them on the larger bases, they are perfect counts as Chaos Spawn.
yeah. Well, I'll admit, when I first.
Just in time to
I
say
do not like being Omanau.
I
You're not like being
understand
over
that.
My
Haven't
internet
seen
keeps
much of him
dropping.
lately.
He's been busy.
Yeah, he's been in and out. I'll admit with that. But yeah, I actually, admittedly, when I first got seen Chaos, it's like, I don't know what I'd collect first. I don't really, none of them really gravitate through me in looks. And then I started really delving into the lore. Now, this is something that Brian, Weird Lord 2 and I will definitely disagree about. He likes the original. Slaanesh is about sex. Nurgle's just about
rock and
rot.
roll.
I don't like that. I like Slanesh being the god of excess,
Well,
not just
sex is
pleasure.
excess.
Yeah.
No, it's all supposed
And
to be all three. It's supposed to be sex,
yeah.
drugs, rock and roll, not just sex.
Okay, Justin.
And
Rub it in.
but the one that I really want to collect now, after finding out his modern backstory, is actually Nurgle, because I like the idea of a chaos god that actually has some level of interest in his minions. Besides, oh, I have more minions. No, he's like, Nurgle actually takes personal interest in each
Oh
and
no,
every one of his
Nurgle
children.
loves his minions. The thing is, if you get into the lore, you find out that
Well, I'm pretty sure
Mortarion
loves their
is
minions,
a
just
dick.
in a different way.
Yeah.
I hate
Bound
Mortarion.
chicka
I
chicka.
would never play Mortarion.
So Rice Krispie Square are
Oh.
big cup Reese's peanut butter cup with
Ooh,
caramel.
I would
What should I
actually
use
start with
first?
the I would start with the Rice Krispie, because you eat something as sweet as the chocolate before the Rice
All right, I gotta
Krispie. The
take
Rice
off.
Krispie will just taste like Rice Krispies. It won't have the marshmallow flavor. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. So take
Party
care.
on, Bo.
I'll see you tomorrow, game time. And everybody else, I will see you guys Saturday night where we are. Where is it? What did I do with it?
Hmm.
Oh, here it is. Where we're making up a cultural trend for our traveler game. Some sort of strange, weird cultural phenomenon that's some
the internet
exists
doesn't
somewhere.
like Justin eating.
He froze up.
Yep.
But that's what I got going on. Crafting, you doing anything in the next couple of days?
I still need to see about editing of my return video.
Okay.
Well, making and then editing my return video. But Saturday, I'm playing a game with Bruce. That doesn't actually get aired to my channel because I'm willing. Depending on what happens, I'm hoping we might be able to air the Hobbit game to my channel. I
Okay.
think starting on your guys' channel will be fine, but and anyway,
Yeah,
that's the other
if you
things
want,
about.
if
But
you want to,
Bruce's game, we're not going to. I'm not streaming to my channel.
if you want to simulcast something we're doing together, just ask.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a problem.
Well, I didn't know if you actually had paid for a restream or not, and I wasn't going to ask you to.
No, I'm not paying for restream. It's
Oh, okay.
free.
Well, I don't know if multi streaming is for multicasting, whatever it's called.
Well, I can send it to. Right now, I'm sending it to Facebook, and I can send it to Twitch and.
Oh no, yeah, you can do that. No, what I'm referring to is sending it to more than one channel. That usually is under the cost
Yeah, I'm not doing
side
that.
of things.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. All right, and Justin's got his show tomorrow at 10 a.m. avocado time. You
Yep.
guys can do the math, figure it out. We'll be hanging out with him in the morning. Otherwise, I'm going to call it for the evening. I got some other stuff I got to do downstairs, and I want to get some writing done because I've only got a week left to write this ridiculous story I'm working on before I can move on to new stuff in the new year. Everybody out there in TV land who watches this later or who watched it tonight, Cal and everybody else, thanks for sticking around and playing along with us. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow.
See you, everybody.